All right, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, we'll give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. Let's jump right into the lesson. This is Hebrews, start verse 25. It says, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. That's talking about Moses, man. You know, Moses was put in a high position in the Egyptian government, if you read the story. But he he forsake all that to serve the Lord, man. Esteeming the reproach, verse 26, esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shai greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto becomers of reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. So he says he forsook Egypt, man. You know, so that's what brothers in this truth, that's what we're called to do. We're called to forsake Egypt, or or another way of saying this world. You know, Babylon. You know, this is the new Egypt. This is our place of bondage. This is the place of confusion. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. This is Rome. You know, these are all these things combined together spiritually. You know, and we have to forsake Egypt, and in doing that, you bring hell upon yourself, because that's what's going to happen in the coming days. You know, Jacob's trouble. We are in the beginning of Jacob's trouble. You know, we got this new election that just passed, and they're both, you know, Edomites. And whatever happens, we know that the Most High is in charge, but we know that evil is going to come. And you look up that word evil, you know, it means bad times. So we were in those days of evil, man. Let me get that scripture. I want to start out verse 14. It's Ephesians 5:14. It says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light. And you get that from the word, man, from studying this word, from getting into this word. You know, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So that's the mentality that we got to be in. You know what? I want to get that word circumspectly. This is the word circumspectly. I'm gonna get the Webster definition. I'm gonna get the Strong's too. Let's see here. So the word circumspect was borrowed from the Latin circumspectus, from circumspiracy, to be cautious. The basic meaning of Latin circumspiracy is to look around. Near synonyms are prudent, cautious, though circumspect implies a careful consideration of all circumstances and desire to avoid mistakes. And let's continue to read. Yeah, that's pretty deep, man. It says a desire to avoid mistakes and bad consequences. So, so that means that every action you take, you got to put thought into it. Every word that you speak, you got to put thought into it. And what that involves is the control of your emotions, man. Because if you speak out of emotion, or you speak out of your heart, you know, we all know what the scripture says about the heart. You know, it's not good to speak. It's good, so you got to speak out of wisdom, man, out of the scriptures. I'm gonna go back to that verse. So see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. I'm gonna get that word circumspectly in the Strongs. It says exactly, accurate, diligently. You know, so that the more meaning was in that Webster's. You know, it says avoiding bad decisions. Wherefore, being not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Most High is. So there it is, man. So we are in that time to walk circumspectly. I'm gonna go back to Hebrews 11th chapter. You know, and then I'm gonna get off track. That word caught my attention to the spirit. This is Hebrews. Go back. It says for Hebrews 11:27 says, for he by faith he forsook Egypt. Okay. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him with the video. So he forsook Egypt, man. You know, so we're gonna have to be in those times. We are in those times right now. You know, where those times where affliction is gonna come upon the men of the Lord. So with that being said, you have to build up your spiritual your armor, man. Your mentality. Spirit, build up your resilience. Spirit, build up your hardness, man. Cause we are called to be soldiers. With that, I'm going to get Matthew, the 5th chapter. It's not going to be an easy road in times ahead, man. And the apostles, they made videos about this, about gearing yourself, preparing your mind, preparing yourself mentally, spiritually. So they're telling us, man, and if they saying it, if the apostles are saying it, the apostle Great Millstone are saying that, then you know that without a shadow of a doubt that's coming. You know, if you believe in this doctrine, you believe that those are truly the men of the Lord, which I do. And, you know, Brother Great Millstone, we believe that those men are the men of the Lord. It's that in Matthew 5 and 10. It says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So there's going to be a persecution. Let's get that word persecuted. A prolonged form of primary will. To make, to run or flee, to put to flight, drive away. To run swiftly in order to catch a person or thing, to turn after, to run after, to press on, figurative, or one who in a race runs swiftly to reach the goal, to pursue. In any way, whatever, to harass, trouble, molest, molest one, to persecute, to be mistreated, suffer persecution on account of something, without that deal still, to run after false, to pursue, seek after eagerly, earnestly. So we're gonna be persecuted, man. They're gonna be after us. They're gonna come upon us. That's what they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and what we do is righteous, man. Teaching of the word, the following the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability. That's all righteousness, man. And the speaking of the truth is righteousness, and that. But the thing about it, that offends many people. But the days are coming where you having this belief, you having this truth, you're gonna be, and you not accepting or doing things that Esau commands us to do, like taking vaccinations, you know, taking that microchip, you know, doing this, that, or the other. Persecution is gonna come upon us, man. You know, in the form of many things, in the form of not living comfortably here in Babylon, man. Cause check it out. Let's go back to Hebrews. Cause Moses did that same thing, and we have to have that same mind state that Moses had. Let's go Hebrews 11:25. Is once again speaking about Moses. I'll start verse 24. By faith, Moses, so you know, to establish who we're talking about, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So he just rejected the whole system that he was born in, he was raised by, the whole world system that he was in. Now we are those Moses because that's what we do, and when we come to years spiritually, you know, we refuse to be called the sons of America, man. You know, we call ourselves, you know, we separate ourselves. We call ourselves the sons of the Most High. Verse 25, choose ye rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh amongst each other. We're going to have to suffer affliction than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, because that's what you are. That's what you do when you're in the world, man. You enjoy the pleasures of sin. You enjoy the pleasures of doing what you want when you want. That's what you do in the world. In the world, the people in the world right now, you know, they can do whatever they want. They have a carefree lifestyle, you know. No, you know, that's why they're bitching about and protesting about these things they protest, because they want America to be the way they want it to be. They want to go back to their folly, man. You know, but like I said that before another lesson, but that's what it is. I'm gonna read that back again. Should we rather suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shai greater riches than the treasures in Egypt? So the greater riches are the kingdom to come, because we all know, man, the things in this world are about ready to expire and get thrown to garbage, man. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward, man. So that's a mindset that we're gonna have to be in these coming days. Let's then I'm gonna get Acts 20, well, the 23rd chapter, and 23rd verse. Let's see here. Acts 20, 23, and it says, I'll start verse 23. Say that the Holy Spirit witnesses in every city, saying that bonds and afflictions abide me. This I think is Paul talking. But none of these things move me, neither count of my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy and the ministry what shall receive of the Mashiach Yahushai to testify the gospel of the grace of Yahweh. So Paul's saying that bonds and afflictions abided him, man, awaited him in every city that he went to. Every city that he went to, he was catching hell. And if you read the book of Acts, you know the hell that Paul caught. You read the epistles, you know that he had a thorn in the side, man. So he was put into prison. He was really dealt with, man. And why? Because he served the Lord. But I'm reading verse 24 again. But none of these things moved me, so it didn't faze him, man. That's how strong his mentality was. That's how strong his spirit was. It didn't faze him. He did count on my life dear unto myself. So he didn't care, man. Yeah, the scripture says, "He that loves his life shall lose it, man. But he that loses life for the Lord's sake, he shall find it, man. So these that count my life dear unto myself." So that's heavy, man. That tells you that tells you, that shows you the level of commitment that every brother in this truth needs to be at, or needs to prepare his spirit and his mind to have. But none of these things move me, so you got to be kind of in that, I'm just going to say it, man, you got to be in that I don't give a fuck attitude, concerning the things of the world. I don't give a fuck, man. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm gonna go hard after this truth. That's the type of mentality you gotta have. But none of these things moving either kind of my life dear to myself. And basically that's why people are gonna take the shit, because they're gonna value their life. They're gonna want their life what do they say about their mother cancer? They say we gotta eat. We gotta eat. Why? Because they're kind of their life dear unto themselves. But what the scriptures say that we gotta do otherwise, man. Hey, the scripture says, take no thought what you should eat or drink. You gotta trust in the Lord, man. But none of these things move me, neither count my life dear unto myself, that I may finish my course with joy, and the ministry which I have received the Lord Mashiach Yahushai to testify the gospel of the grace of Yahweh. So his only concern was not the things that he went through. He said, but none of these things move me, nor whether he lived or died in the process of it. His only concern, his only goal, his only thing that he had in his mind to do was to finish his course, so that I may finish my course with joy. And we were on that same course, man. And you started it. You might as well finish it, man. The scriptures tell you what happens when you take your hand off the plow, or when you forsake this truth. It's better that you not known it. And that's what puts fear in you, man. That should be a motivator. What it is for me. I'm sure it is for many brothers. A motivator to continue on and just bear the things that you gotta bear. Now I'm gonna get Romans 8 and 17. A few more scriptures. I'll probably close it out. Romans 8 and 17. It's just to give you examples of I'll start verse 17. And if children, then heirs. I'm gonna read verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit. Why? Because we are in that one accord. We are in that same truth, that we are the children of the Most High. And of children, and I think if you look at the word children, it goes into sons. Let me see. A male child, son. See, so yeah. So the scripture says the Lord's only dealing with men. So I'm just gonna read that. I'm gonna put the word sons. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the sons of Yahweh, and of sons and heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, if so be that we suffer with them. So that's the kicker right there. That's the fine print, man. That's like they like to call it. That's the what's the word I'm trying to say? That's the catch, if you want to call it that. That's the requirement. And if children, then and sons and heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified, that we may be also glorified together. If so be that we suffer with him. So that's a requirement. That's the requirement. We're gonna have to suffer. We're gonna have to go through those sufferings. We're gonna have to go through those hard things. We're gonna have to forsake a lot of things. Turn your back on a lot of things. The price is gonna be high, man. In other words, it's gonna be the price is high to pay in this world. But like it says in verse like we read in Hebrews 8, the recompense of reward, man. Verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So this is just a slap on the wrist, man. But our human flesh, our chains of darkness, it sometimes it makes it seem like it's a lot, but it's not. But always remember, man, that the Most High doesn't put nothing upon you that you can't handle. You know, for the earnest expectation of the creature waits for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. You know, so hey, I'm gonna read that verse 18 again because that's the point. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared. That's not worthy. You can't even. It's not worthy, man. Let me see that worthy. Weighing, having weight, having the weight of another thing of like value was as much befitting, congruous, exploring thing of one who has merited anything worthy, both in the good and bad sense. It's not worth. You can't compare it, man. It has no value. The things here has no value to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You know, so that's the mentality, man. If so be that we suffer with them, so prepare your minds, like the apostles say. Prepare yourself, brace yourself, like the apostles say. The brothers making videos, the apostles making videos about preparing yourself spiritually for the things that are coming, man. What's that? I'm gonna get Romans 8:35. Jump down to 35, and it says, let's see. It says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua?" And it's talking about the sufferings right here, the sufferings that we need to bear: tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword. All these things are coming in Jacob's trouble, man. All these things are part of Jacob's trouble. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all day long, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be separated from the love of Yahweh, which is the Messiah Yahweh Shai, our power, man. So, going back to verse 35, tribulation, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, sword. Those are the sufferings that Yahweh Shai is calling you to partake in. That's why it says in verse, where was it? It was up there. Yeah, verse 17 and 7, showing the heirs, Yahweh and joint heirs, which are shy, if so be that we suffer with him. So those are sufferings that we are called to partake in, man. So that's what it is. That's the mentality that needs to be applied to your spirit, man. Let's tell them get Second Timothy, the first chapter. Was it? Yeah, Second Timothy, the first chapter. It's Second Timothy, the first chapter, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. It says, for Yahweh not giving us the spirit of fear, so you shouldn't be afraid of things, man. Hey, what did Paul say? He didn't count these things, man. Those persecutions of faith didn't matter to him. He wasn't afraid of them, man. They didn't shake his spirit up. He didn't make haste in time of trouble, like it says in the Apocrypha, but of power. That's a spirit that's gonna be given unto us. When the spirit of fear, that's of the world. For Yahweh not giving us the spirit of fear, but of power, man. And that's what this truth does to you. This obedience to Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai does to you, man. It gives you the spirit of power, man, and of love and a sound mind. Let's get that word sound, man. Let's see. That's not the wrong, really the definition I'm looking for. Let me see what this says right here. A sound mind. See, see if I have a good definition towards the cake. Definition of sound. You know what? I'm gonna go to the etymology and see what that says. Let's get that word sound. It says the establish salak. Honest, someone was looking for sound. It's this from the website 1828 dictionary, which is a real good dictionary. And for brothers to download, so it got a lot of good definitions of the sound: entire, broken, not shaky, split or defective as sound timber, undecayed, whole, perfect, not defective as sound fruit, unbroken, not bruised or defective, not lacerated or decayed as a sound limb. This verse 8, it's like a definition number 8 is what really brings it home. Found in truth, firm, strong, valid, solid, that cannot be overthrown or refuted. That is sound reasoning, is sound argument, is sound objection, sound doctrine, sound principles. Right, correct, well founded, free from error. 2 Timothy 1, let my heart be sound in thy statutes, man. So hey, that's what it is. A found in truth, firm, strong. So going back to Romans, what was I? Going back to was it Timothy? Yeah, going back to Timothy. Yeah, verse 17, when it's saying, for Yahweh not giving us a spirit of fear, but of power and a love and a sound mind. So an unmovable mind, man. So the mentality has to be correct. Your mentality has to be strengthened up. So that's the mentality that we gotta have. Be not therefore forsake, be not therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor me of his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the affliction of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh. So we gotta be a partaker of sufferings. We gotta be a partaker of afflictions. These are the things that are coming for a man that believes wholeheartedly in this truth, and a man that does his work sincerely. So we have to build up our resilience, our spiritual resilience, our mental resilience, build ourselves up in his faith, build ourselves up in his word. Because the scriptures clearly say that we are going to be partakers of afflictions and sufferings, man. So that walk in the park is over with, if you want to call it that. In Babylon, you know, Revelation 12 is coming, like we always say. But then I'm gonna get 2 Timothy's 2 and 2 Timothy's the second chapter, because it says right here. This is the sum of it all, man. 2 Timothy 2 and 1 says, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace. So we're as required, we're called to be strong in the grace that is in Meshach Yahushai. And that's just this knowledge in his word, among other things. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. That thou therefore endure hardness. Let's get that word hardness. Hardship. Say that goes along with suffering and affliction. As a good soldier of Meshach Yahushua. Let's get that word soldier. Let's see, a champion of the cause of Yahushua. That's beautiful, man. We're called to be that. If you look at that word champion, it goes to the word conqueror. Let's get that word champion in that Webster's, man. Let's get, like the apostle would say, get into these words, man, to get that clearer understanding, that extra meat off that bone, so to speak. It's the word champion. A man who undertakes a combat in the place of cause of another, a man who fights in his own cause and a doer of hero, brave warrior, hence one who is bold in contest as a champion for the truth, to challenge to a combat. That word champion is conqueror, man, and that's part of being a man. Having that spirit was in you. I'm on the back again. It says, 2 Timothy 2 and 1 says, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace as in Meshach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardship, as a good soldier of Meshach Yahushai. No man that always entangle himself with the affairs of this life. So we gotta forsake Egypt, pretty much, going back to Hebrews, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And if any man strive for the mastery, he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. Let's get that word, lawfully. Agreeable to the law. So, in order, man. There's a certain way to do this thing. The husbandman that labors must first be taken for fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things, man. So the point of it all, man, is that prepare a mentality. My brothers made videos about this. Apostles made video about this. That's so that that's the spirit speaking, man. To tell brothers, to get brothers prepared and ready for the things that are coming, man. With that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashim Mashai. Kar Halal Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. Brothers keep on pushing, man. build up your discipline, build up your hardness, build up your resilience, build up yourself in the spirit and the faith to the things ahead. With that being said, we'll say shalom.